Welcome to the Berea Podcast. This is your host, Troy, and I'm excited about this episode because it's a little bit different. I had a completely different episode prepared for today, and what I'll do is just tag it on at the end. It's just a note of encouragement to listeners, but I want to share something that just happened today. I made an earlier episode about that Berea is wonderfully located if you want to travel because it's close to Lexington, it's close to Cincinnati, it's a drive to Louisville, and you can get all of those different airfares, competing against each other for your business. Well, that is also true for storage unit auctions. Okay, so if you want me to tell you more about how I go about finding storage unit auctions, that kind of thing, just send me an email simply at troy@thebereapodcast.com, troy@thebereapodcast.com. And that would be great. I can give you a whole episode of details about that. But what I'm going to do now is tell you about my day. I found a storage unit, rented a U-Haul from here in Berea, drove it up to Lexington, and you'll see it in just a second. I raised the garage door up, and you'll hear a recounting of, my initial assessment of the unit, and then an assessment at the end, okay? So I'll come right back right here after that, and then let you know the details, some takeaways from that, and what this episode was going to be, okay? So I'm sitting here with the dog, and we are editing, and it hit me that I should probably put just this little blurb in here that says, to see everything that I talk about on this episode, simply go to the YouTube and search for Front Porch Studios, and there's a feed of videos like this there. Thanks so much. Okay, here we are at the storage unit. I've just seen the pictures that were on the internet, and now I'm going to go into the unit. This is the first time that I've seen it, and I actually won't make any kind of assessment or anything of what's there yet. That'll be a little more, as we go, because it'll be very boring if you got all of the exciting stuff now. So already I've got 700. Here we go. So let me share with you, it's coming down, things that I wanted in this unit and things that I were thinking about, okay? So I saw right here that water pump and thought that is money. Of course, I saw the TV. I saw that this was a tripod sticking out of there, and thought that could suggest that there's some more cameras or things like that in here. And with the TV and these little boxes and all, I was thinking that maybe there was also some video game stuff. All right. I also saw the hung up clothes, and seeing that it's clearly a guy's unit, I thought that maybe those were like military clothing, and then it was going to be, easy. Another reason that I got this unit is because, look, it's pretty clean and is going to be very easy to load into the truck. Let me see what time it is right now. It's 11:30. And so this is going to be pretty easy to load. Let's see what happens, okay? Oh, also a chainsaw. All right. I will put you in my little thing right here, and you'll see as I do, all right? Okay, we are going to assess. All right, yep, that's a pump. Got some equipment here connected to, there's a combination square, is that what it is? And a saw. Got a cool walking stick. Got a bicycle. in there, there's some interesting lighting, if I remember right. This looks like they probably used it as a shop at some point because there's a fan. This one says cords. I want to see if it actually is cords in there. Yes. Oh, but look, it's TV cords and all that. We may have hit a jackpot if that is equipment. I'm going to put this over here because I'm a firm believer in not touching something twice. That's the stuff that's less exciting. That will probably go straight into the trash. And I have low hopes for something titled Crap and Food. All right. This chainsaw, let's see if it is in there. Yep, it's got some weight to it. So that is a real chainsaw. It says Craftsman. Let's see if it is. I did not have a gas chainsaw before, so awesome on that. All right, this says sockets. Let's see if it's like a tool kit. That's awesome. Those are some, and what's interesting is the little things that are there are worth something. There's an erector, a human body thing. Let me see. That seems like real things. See? Now that is the base of the TV of that TV, so super awesome. Let's see what that is. Great. Now that is something too. I am going to go ahead and just load this stuff up. I'll pull out interesting things to let you see before we actually load it up into the truck. Okay, recording real-time reaction. Again, the TV was one of the things that I was bidding on. And when I come around to the back, most of the TV stuff is gone and it's down here. So is it just a matter of snapping it back together or completely destroyed? That's to be determined later. But man, that is a bummer. All right, look, 40 minutes later, we have an empty storage unit, a full truck that's heading back to Berea. Now what you can't smell is the stench of disappointment. There was an iPad and some computer stuff. There was an Xbox 360. There was, those two bicycles. I think that's they'll go okay, but not the hopes that I had. You take your chances. All right. See you in Berea. Okay, there you go. So I'm pretty depressed. I took most of that stuff you saw 3 separate places. First is straight to the dumpster. I would say a solid third of it went into the dumpster. The second is I pulled my U-Haul straight into the bin, the driveway of Goodwill that's here in town. And that is where almost 2/3 of the rest of the things went. Those bicycles that I saw, they would have needed some repair to get them to the, a price that would be worth my time. And I just said, let's give that away. So gave most of those clothes away. In the white packages were clothes. And so I've got a little bit of tools that I'm happy with. And I don't believe I've lost any money, from that. And, to let you know why I did such a thing today is my birthday coming up. The wife said, Della said, what do you want to do? And I said, let me get this unit because of that TV. Grr. And so that's what's happened there. So just a second, I'm going to tell you at the end what my original vision for this episode was. So let's go right into that. I originally was on schedule to do a Berea podcast about some traffic issues that happened right up by College Square, because there was lots of complaining about that. And I thought that was an interesting avenue to start a discussion about Berea's road system. And I may revisit that later. But before I could even sit down to the microphone, talked with the wife, and there was another pressing issue, and then another pressing issue nationally, and then internationally, and things just, hit one after the other, political in some ways, and just life in some ways. And I almost got just consumed by all of this stuff that's going on with life right now. And I wanted to address what I could. You can't help, everything that goes on. But what you can do is control your response. And I love this quote, and I encourage everyone to live by this quote. And I don't do much, shoulds on people. But I do think that people should live by this quote. It's attributed to everybody under the sun. So just Google it and you'll see someone that's, attributed to this. But it says, if you speak, only speak when it's true, when it's necessary, and when it's kind. All right. Debriefing from that, just simply, is it true? I encourage you not to find simply one source of information to determine if something is true or not. Always go for a second source, maybe even something that you don't usually follow, and then speak truth. Second, is it necessary? There's lots of other talks, attributed phrases to Mahatma Gandhi that said, and it's a Christian statement as well, like speak loudly, and if you have to use your words, you can speak without yelling and be heard. The last thing simply about that is it kind? And I do think, if you're hearing this, I encourage you in everything to be kind to one another. There's that other quote about, and this was attributed to Robin Williams, but he says, you don't know the battles that everyone you meet, okay, this is a paraphrase. You don't know the battles that everyone you meet are, battling. And so for that reason, I wanted to do a whole episode of, that particular. But I got a storage unit today. So if you want to hear more about the storage units, send me an email. If you want to hear more about the traffic situation in Berea, find me on Facebook. The Berea Podcast is on Facebook. Follow it and then message me. All right? I hope you all are doing well. Thanks so much.